guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match analysis from the match yesterday between Barcelona and Villarreal, where Barcelona did pick up 3 huge points that will hopefully give us some momentum from now until the World Cup begins. We're going to take a look at some of the stats from this match, analyze the team's performance, analyze some players' individual performances, react to Xavi's post-match press conference, and the match reaction of 3 other players, but also discuss the big topic about Sergio Busquets and Gerard Pique being booed by the Camp Nou. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. It'd be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with a reminder of the starting lineup from last night. It was Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Roberto, Kounde, Alonso, Jordi Alba, midfield 3 of De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri, and a front 3 of Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and Ansu Fati. Now in this match, Xavi did use all 5 of his substitutions. He first did a double change, bringing on Bellerin and Busquets, taking off Roberto and De Jong, then brought on Dembele and Raphinha for Lewandowski and Ansu, and then finally Pique came on for Kounde. Now the front cover of the Catalan-based newspapers this morning were nothing but praise for the Barcelona performance and the result last night. Mundo Deportivo came out with the headline saying, "Yes, we can," and Sport came out with the headline saying, "This is the Barcelona we want." Let's now take a look at the goals scored from last night. The first one, of course, was Robert Lewandowski. Pedri puts in a beautiful through ball to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba cuts it across goal. Nice one-time cross from him. Typical stuff that we like to see from him. And then the ball is bouncing around between Rulli, Pau Torres, and Albiol. Then Lewandowski finds it, cuts it back, and puts it into the back of the net. The second goal in this match was also scored by Robert Lewandowski, and it all started up with Pedri making a great tackle in Barcelona's final third. He gives it to Gavi, and then Araujo goes right to Gavi, tries pulling him down, trying to get that yellow card, but Gavi outmuscles him, keeps going, finds Lewandowski, who was actually occupying that left wing position, comes in, cuts aside, and bends it beautifully in the bottom right hand corner. The third goal was scored by Ansu Fati. It was great work from Frenkie de Jong in the midfield, going past 2 Villarreal players, finds Lewandowski, who thankfully was onside, gives it to Gavi on the one-time touch. Gavi quickly finds Ferran Torres out wide on the right hand side, an acre of space, runs into the box, does some skills, pretends to shoot it, but actually goes for a cross, finds Ansu Fati, but Ansu Fati hits the post, luckily gets a rebound and backheels it into the open net and gives Barcelona the 3-goal lead. Let's now take a look at the full-time stats. Barcelona have absolutely dominated the numbers in this match. Firstly, 70% of the possession for Barcelona, 16 shots, 5 on target, 6 off target, 5 were blocked, 8 corner kicks, 4 offside, but we also committed 18 fouls but didn't get a yellow card. We had 4 big chances, we missed 2 of them. We hit the post, of course, once, the Ansu Fati chance. We had 2 counterattacks, 1 counterattack shot, and 1 counter-attack goal. 11 shots inside the box compared to 5 outside the box. Again, Xavi probably wants more from outside the box. Take those numbers from inside, bring it to the ones from the outside. Rulli for Villarreal made 2 saves, of course, 2 key saves. In this match, Barcelona had 763 passes attempted and completed 716, 94% pass accuracy for the whole entire team. That is very, very good. In terms of long balls, we attempted 42 and completed 36, 86% success rate. And in terms of crosses, we attempted 22 and only completed 9, 41% success rate. We also attempted 16 dribbles and only completed 7, giving us a 44% success rate. But we only lost possession in this match 94 times. Now usually we're in the triple digits in that section, but now being in 94, I think is a good improvement. We won 41 duels, 7 of them being aerial. We had 17 tackles, 11 interceptions, and only 1 clearance. Let's now take a look at the SofaScore player ratings, where as a team, Barcelona achieved a 7.2 rating on the night. We of course played the 4-3-3 formation, and we had an average age of 26.5 years old. In the match, Ter Stegen got 7.1. Jordi Alba with the second highest rating, or tied first highest rated player in the team with an 8.3. Alonso 7.5, Kounde 7.2, Roberto 6.9, Pedri and Gavi both getting a 7.4, Frenkie de Jong with a 7.9, Ansu also getting a 7.4, Ferran getting 6.8, the lowest in the starting lineup, and Robert Lewandowski getting an 8.3 alongside, of course, Jordi Alba. And to the substitutes, pretty much all of them got the same rating. You have Ousmane Dembele, Busquets, and Pique getting a 6.7. Raphinha getting a 6.3, probably missing because he missed that big chance, of course, near the end of the match. And then Bellerin getting a 6.6. Let's now take a look at some of the stats from this match. Firstly, we do have the average positioning of the Barcelona players during the game. On the right hand side is what the substitutes coming in, and on the left hand side is the starting lineup. First thing I want to highlight is the position of Robert Lewandowski. As you can see where the arrow is, that's where the striker should be. It's empty. Lewandowski was playing basically as a left forward in this match. Of course, that second goal was because he was holding the left wing position. Him and Ansu were rotating a lot in this match, but of course, Ferran Torres stuck mainly there down the right hand side. Of course, played as the striker in the last 10 minutes. You have Frenkie as the holding, Gavi playing more advanced than Pedri. Pedri kind of being that box to box, and of course, the back four in a very good shape. Roberto and Jordi Alba both high, and of course, Kounde and Alonso also high as well. When the subs come in, easy replacements. Of course, Pique comes in for Kounde, same position. Busquets for De Jong, same position. Bellerin for Roberto, although he is higher, technically same position. Then you have the positioning of Dembele and Raphinha, who again more so playing centrally as left forward and right forwards, but as we saw from the match, they were interchanging a lot, but it was Raphinha default on the left wing, which we thought we'd never see him there again. And then of course Ousmane Dembele at the right wing position. So despite the fact that Xavi made 5 substitutions in this match, didn't really change the shape of the team overall during the game. Now if you look at the heat concentration in this match, 45% of this match was spent near the halfway line, with 40% in the final third of Villarreal compared to 15% in the final third of Barcelona. And of course, with Jordi Alba starting this match, Barcelona predominantly went down more so down the left hand side in this match than right hand side, and nothing of course down the middle, because as I saw from Lewandowski, he's playing more so of a left striker, left wing, left forward, and nothing of course for Barcelona in this match was going down the middle. Now if you look at the passing network in this match, I can see from the left hand side, Jordi Alba receiving the most passes. Look at all those arrows to him. But I also want to focus as well on Frenkie de Jong. He did have a lot of passes received and distributed during the match as well. Of course, Barcelona gonna dominate the XG with a 2.4 expected goals in this match, with us scoring 3. Of course, that is very good. You have of course most passes completed in this match by Jordi Alba. The most passing combination was between Jordi Alba and Pedri. Most progressive passes, so passes going forward, was Jordi Alba, and most threat received Ansu Fati. Of course, they have the most threatening combination as well going forward was Alba and Fati, and the most progressive passer received was Ferran Torres. As you can see, Jordi Alba was heavily involved in the build-up play for the entire match today, and that's why he got that higher rating from SofaScore of an 8.3. Now, with Barcelona dominating the match in such a fantastic fashion like this, of course, numbers-wise, there are a lot of stats that are going to be coming out from the match. Firstly, Barcelona's Frenkie de Jong has won 10 duels last night against Villarreal, more than any other player in a single game in La Liga, with 100% of duel success this season. Gladiator, great there from Frenkie. And Lewandowski has now scored his 600th and 601 goal for club and country last night as well. Huge number for the Polish striker. Only against Mallorca 7 have Barcelona scored 3+ goals in the first half, more times than against Villarreal in La Liga in the 21st century, 6 as many as Atletico Madrid. So again, very dominant at the Camp Nou, usually against Villarreal. Now surprisingly, this is the first match that Ansu Fati, Pedri, and Gavi start together in the first team. When I saw that before the match, I was genuinely shocked, thinking, really? They never start together? And that's of course more so because Ansu Fati was getting a lot of injuries over the past few years, and when he had the opportunity to come in, it was rotation. So either Pedri or Gavi usually dropped out. So good to see those 3 hopefully future players of Barcelona starting together for the first time. And I also want to highlight this: Gavi covered 12.1 kilometers in this match, and Pedri covered 11.8. Just me saying that out loud makes me tired. That is ridiculous. And of course, speaking of Ansu Fati, the last that we do have is that Ansu Fati had made 7 shots against Villarreal with 1 goal, his highest tally in a single game for Barcelona in any competition, of course, in 72 total match appearances. Now, of course, he scored more goals before. I think he's gotten a brace before, but him, taking that initiative to having shots moving forward is definitely very positive for the young Spanish forward. Now, one of the big talking points of this match was, of course, the fact that the first team captain captain and the second team captain of Barcelona, Sergio Busquets and Gerard Pique, were both whistled and booed, well, whistled and or booed when they were subbed on in this match. Now, when Busquets was subbed on, I didn't really hear it too much because, of course, all the Camp Nou was applauding Frenkie de Jong coming off, but apparently, according to reports and according to a few people, there were a few boos. Not too much, not too little. They were noticeable, but they were just boos when he came on. Then when he touched the ball after that, everything was okay. But when Pique came on, of course, it was an individual substitution coming off of Kounde. We heard the boos and whistle, and they were consistent. When he had his first few touches in the game and he was holding the ball a lot, they were booing, they were whistling. This for me could be a huge turning point for the captains, in a bad way, of course. I would be shocked if I see either of them in the Blaugrana shirt next season, because you know what? When your own fans turn against you because of your bad performance, it's a problem. Of course, last season, the fans booed the whole entire stadium, booed Dembele because he did not renew his contract. Not because of his performance or because he's not playing well, it was because of his contract. He was asking for a lot of money. That's why they booed him, because it's not, respectable. The captains are getting booed because of their performances. This for me is a huge thing. Now, I also want to talk about Gerard Pique specifically. Now, I'm going to show you a video, or not a video, it's going to be a time lapse of when Pique was sent out to warm up and then when he came onto the pitch. And I wanted you to see his effort compared to the other players. As you see, the game's going on behind you, and there's Pique right there beside Hector Bellerin. So you have Hector Bellerin running up and down, warming up, doing the necessary stretches, and you have Pique leaning against the corner flag. He's not even trying. If there's ever a sign of a player that's done, it's Pique. Look at him. He's walking. He did like 2 stretches and walked back and forth once. And he's talking with the trainer. Look at Bellerin. I think the other player there is Raphinha. Look at him stretching, making the runs. Pique is just watching. Pique is just watching the game. Look at this, man. This is actually embarrassing to see that your second captain, a legend of the club, doesn't care. This tells me that Pique doesn't care anymore. And you know, if he doesn't care, leave now. Save us the money, please. So that's the reality of this. Look at this. He's not. When you're told to sprint, he's walking. Oh, I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. I think with Busquets, there is a bit more effort because he is the first team captain. He is pivotal to Xavi. He was a starter from the season, from the get-go. But with Pique, you can just tell, I think now, he doesn't care. He might come out and say, I care, stuff like that, but I go back to that quote from 2020, when fresh blood needs to come in, I'll be the first to step away. And I think now he's realizing that it's his time now to step away. Keep in mind, he is now the 6th choice center back. You have Araujo, Kounde, Garcia, Christensen, and now Marcos Alonso, the left wing back, is getting selected ahead of him at center back. So look, it really didn't it made me sad that the Camp Nou booed them, but it's deserved. Like, I'm not gonna complain about the fans expressing their opinion, but it's deserved in my opinion. Now, it's a big question is how will they react, but again, it is looking like the end for the first and second captain at Barcelona. Let's now get into Xavi's post-match press conference reaction and the match reaction of 3 other players. Those 3 players are Frenkie de Jong, Ansu Fati, and the 4th captain, Jordi Alba. Let's now get and see what everyone had to say. First up is Frenkie de Jong, who of course came in as the pivot in this match and put in a fantastic performance. He was my man of the match for this game. Let's get and see what he had to say after the match. He came out saying, he was of course asked about him being subbed off, saying that, look, I was a bit tired, I got a slight overload, but everything is fine. The substitution was just a precaution. I am fine and I'll be good for the next match coming up. After what happened with Inter Milan and Real Madrid last week, we need to win today, and Villarreal is a good team, so this was a difficult, matchup. It wasn't, a walk in the park, and no matter where I play, I'm happy when I'm touching the ball like I did today. The big question right now in the fan base is Frenkie de Jong a good enough replacement for Busquets? My answer is it is too early to call. He's played there twice this season. He's played well, but of course he should be playing there more often in the big games. But let's not rush to conclusions. I think bringing in a player like Zubimendi or something like that is still needed. But Frenkie de Jong is doing a job right now in the pivot. Let's hope he can continue that more for the rest of the season. Next up is Ansu Fati, who alongside Frenkie de Jong was also a strong performer in this match. Got the 3rd goal in the match as well. Had 7 shots, the most he's ever had as a Barcelona player as well. Let's get and see what he had to say after the match. He came out saying, "We knew we were coming off of difficult results. These 3 points are very important. There was no major change in ideology. We played with the same style. Everyone who steps onto the pitch tries to do their best. I will always be there when the coach needs me. What happened in the subject of the injury has already happened, and I don't think about it anymore. At first, I made a mistake from my goal, but I quickly corrected the mistake and ended up scoring. Everyone wants to contribute. There are a lot of us, and we have to do what the coach wants, and I'll always be there to provide whatever he needs from me when I'm called upon." So of course, Ansu Fati this season has been struggling. There's no doubt about that, with injuries, lack of confidence, but now it's his time to build up momentum. Of course, he wants to be in that Spain squad for the World Cup, and this is now his chance. Few games to go, he needs to perform very well, and I do hope he gets in that Spain squad. And the final player is of course the third captain, and the final player is the fourth captain of the club, Jordi Alba. Funny how the captains only come out and speak to the media when we win. Anyways, of course, he's one of the better performers in this match. According to SofaScore, he was, the top rated player alongside Lewandowski. Let's get and see what he has to say after the match. He came out saying, "Today was important to play well in front of our fans. It was important to win against a great opponent, and I thank the fans for their support for this victory and for the support they always give us. Xavi said that we're going to go play, and we're going to go play to be important. With the try our give our best, and I think we're playing very well. We both played well, both from the start and from the bench as well. It was of course a difficult week last week after what happened against Inter and the Clasico. Today we played well with intensity, and the team was united all the time, and this win will hopefully give us the confidence." And he's absolutely correct. Like I've been saying a lot now over the past few days, this is our moment. We have to go on a good run, take that momentum, take that confidence, and go for these big games that are coming up. Of course, now from the World Cup, I believe there's only around 4 or 5 games left. They're all must wins. Of course, they can make that gap from second to third bigger, and the gap from first to second closer. Time now to get into Xavi's post-match press comments reaction. Of course, he's the manager, and he sets up the teams and the tactics, and his opinion matters the most. So let's get and see what Xavi had to say after the match. He came out saying that Frenkie de Jong was very good. He played a perfect game. I'm very happy for him, and we had to respond today, and we did so by scoring 3 goals. Ansu training very well, and he's certainly an important player for us. 30 days to go to the World Cup. Yes, there is a month left, and I'm sure that it will be a historic World Cup in Qatar. I wish Qatar all the best in hosting. That is the country that has given me everything from a manager point of view. Alonso advanced perfectly to the center of defense today. He was very good as the entire line of defense. Alba, Kounde, and Roberto as well. We have to play at 100% in every game like we did today. The whole team played well, all the lines, and yes, the defense is solid. The feeling is good that we did not concede a goal, and we're trying to build our progress in the league. Then asked him questions about whistles at Pique. He came out saying that during the Joan Gamper Trophy, I asked that we be united. It's time for us to unite. The only thing I can say is that in the locker room, he is an example of being a leader in the dressing room. He was then asked about Frenkie de Jong playing in the pivot. He said that he can play as a pivot, but today he's especially creative because Villarreal's 4-4-2 system makes Frenkie be free and him very good. We didn't suffer defensively or in transition, which is of course a very good sign. And lastly, Xavi concluded off by saying that externally in the environment around us, I see a lot of impatience and a lot of tension. However, that is not the case internally. We are calm. Our goal for this season is to stay humble, and of course, like I've said every single press conference for the past 3 months, to fight and win trophies. So look, Xavi is saying very clearly the team is united, whether the fans want to express their opinions or not. In the locker room, everyone is together. We are calm, and we have a clear objective this season to win titles, more specifically La Liga. Let's now analyze some of the players' individual performances from this match. I've chosen 5 players to analyze. Those 5 players are Jordi Alba, that beautiful midfield of De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri, and also Robert Lewandowski. First up is Jordi Alba, who got an 8.2 SofaScore rating and adds up from his heat map, with of course playing as the left back in this match, but spent more time in the final third than his defensive final third. In the match, he played 90 minutes, had 1 assist, 1 interception, 2 tackles. He was dribbled past twice. He did the 5 ground duels and won 2. Did the 1 aerial duel, did not win it. He lost possession 12 times. He committed 1 foul, but he was never fouled himself. He was offside once, had 131 touches, 91% pass accuracy, but only misplaced 10 passes. He had 4 key passes. He attempted 5 crosses and completed 3. He attempted 5 long balls and completed 4. He created, of course, 1 big chance, and also had one of his shots blocked. Look, we all know Jordi Alba offensively is still decent. He can still do it against mid to lower opposition. Of course, in the big games, he's not up to scratch. That is a reality. But again, you have to look at his defensive attributions in this match. They were not great. Of course, getting dribble past twice could be damaged. If that's, Neymar, for example, we're getting toasted, but today, or yesterday, should I say, was Yeremy Pino. So, of course, there's that big difference in level. But look, let's highlight it. Jordi Alba did play well in this match. Of course, we were going to be on the offensive final third today. We're going for it a lot, and that's where Jordi Alba strives. So, credit to him. Hopefully, when he gets called upon more minutes this season, when we do have the opportunity to have our left back go forward, he does perform to this level. Next up is Frenkie de Jong, who got a 7.9 silver score rating, and as from his heat map, was all over the pitch. But look at the shape of that. That is in the shape of a horse, because this man was a beast today, absolutely all over the pitch. But in the match, he only played 70 minutes, had 93 touches, 95% pass accuracy, and he only misplaced 4 passes. He attempted 1 cross and completed it. He attempted 2 long balls and completed both. He had 2 dribbles and completed both. He attempted 9 ground duels, completed all 9. He also attempted 1 aerial duel and completed it. Everything this man tried to do, he completed it to perfection. He only lost possession in this match 6 times. He did not commit a foul in this match, but was fouled himself 2 times, 1 interception, and 5 tackles. Wow. This is why he was my man in the match. He attempted, 5 different stats in this match, and he completed everything he did. Wow. Look, is he a Busquets replacement? Too early to call. Again, we said this against, I believe it was Elche, where De Jong played in the pivot. We said he played well. He needs more minutes. Whether De Jong can replace Busquets or not, we decide that at the end of the season. Him playing the position twice and doing well twice isn't enough. I need to see it more on a consistent basis. But again, I firmly believe in the big matches this season, when you're playing Clásico at home, Atletico Madrid home and away, Sevilla at home, Europa League, Champions League, wherever it may be, De Jong must start in the pivot, and it has to be consistent. Xavi cannot go, oh, here De Jong 1 game, Busquets 2. No, it has to be consistent. Give him a proper chance, because we know Busquets is finished. Look, Busquets can come on against Osasuna, against Real Mallorca, against Cadiz at home. He can do a job, understandable. In the big matches, though, finito, absolutely finished. And I do like the fact that Frenkie de Jong starts the match, kind of drains all the players, and then you bring on Busquets, last 10 minutes, last 20 minutes for that higher IQ, higher intelligence. I think that could be a good strategy that Xavi can use. But look, Frenkie de Jong played well in this match. Let's hope he can continue this momentum. Of course, we do have big games coming up, and I do think he should be starting in that pivot role. Next up is Gavi, who got a 7.4 silver score rating in this match, and as some of his heat map was, of course, playing as a right interior in the 4-3-3 formation. In the match, he played 90 minutes, had 1 assist, 63 touches, 93% pass accuracy, but only misplaced 4 passes. He had 2 key passes. He attempted 1 cross and completed it. He attempted 2 dribbles, completed both. He attempted 8 ground duels and only completed 4. Lost possession 7 times. He committed 5 fouls, but was not fouled himself. He was offside twice. He had 1 interception and 2 tackles. But I tell you what, those 2 tackles, I remember them both in my head. They came at absolutely pivotal moments when Villarreal were on the counterattack. Look, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Gavi is such a unique player. I think just a bit in the final third, he has to improve on his creativity. I remember in the live stream when we were doing the live watch along, a lot of people were saying in the chat he has no creativity, which I disagree with. He has some creativity, but we just don't see it that much. I think once he gets that part of his game spot on, which I think Pedri does have on lockdown at the moment, he's going to be brilliant. Again, just him, I think his all-round game from like box to box to defensive wise is almost perfect, man. This kid is absolutely unbelievable, and he's going to grow into a world-class player, and I'm happy to see the ride of him going to the top. I tell you what, this kid is ridiculous. I just hope there's no injuries for him or anything like that, but again, just working his creativity aspect in the final third, and he's going to be a world-class player. Next up is Pedri, who also got a 7.4 silver score rating, but as you can tell from his heat map, was of course predominantly playing as a left interior in a 4-3-3 formation, but was also all over the pitch, defensively, going forward as well. In the match, he played 90 minutes, had 104 touches, 93% pass accuracy, but only misplaced 6 passes. He attempted 7 long balls and completed all 7. I also believe he had a match this season where he attempted 14 long balls and completed all of them. he might be perfecting that long ball attribute, I'll tell you that. He had one shot off target, he attempted one dribble but couldn't complete it. He had 12 ground duels attempted and only completed 6. He lost possession 10 times. He committed 2 fouls but was fouled himself 3 times. He also had 1 interception, 3 tackles, and was dribbled past once. Now, of course, one of those tackles led to the goal. The second one, of course, from Lewandowski, where Gavi got his assist. Look, Pedri, again, like Gavi, very, very good. He is such a unique player as well. But I feel like the roles are reversed. So for Gavi, he needs to work on his creativity. And I think for Pedri, just a little bit work on the defensive aspect of your game coming back. Although he did get the tackle that led to the goal, I think defensive-wise, it could be a bit better. And also, of course, going forward, I recommend both Gavi and Pedri to shoot more specifically outside the box. Pedri is doing it more on a consistent basis, which, I give credit to, but should do it a bit more. I think Gavi as well. I think, we're talking about Pedri, but I'm going to talk about Gavi for a second. I think Gavi always has those opportunities at the top of the box and never lets it fly. I think he should work on that. But for Pedri, look, we all know he's kind of being, an established player for Barcelona in the midfield. Without him, we look freaking clueless. A 19-year-old without him, we're looking, absolutely in cuckoo land. So credit to Pedri. Again, just work on the defensive bit of the game a little bit more. And he's going to be also alongside Gavi, a world-class player. And last but not the least, of course, the already world-class player in our squad is, of course, Robert Lewandowski, who got an 8.3 silver score rating and SF from his heat map. Was playing, of course, as a striker, but more so down the left-hand side as, left wing / left forward. In the match, he played 75 minutes. Thank God for that. Got some rest. Got 2 goals, 3 shots on target. He did the 2 dribbles, didn't complete either of them. He had 31 touches. He had an 84% pass accuracy, but only misplaced 3 passes and only attempting 19 passes in this match. He had 1 key pass, he attempted 1 long ball and completed it. He attempted 2 crosses and not complete either of them. He also attempted 6 ground duels and won none of them. Attempted 2 aerial duels and 1 bolt. He lost possession 11 times. He also committed 2 fouls in this match but was never fouled himself. This is a deadly guy. In the box, if you give him a gun and there's the accuracy, he'll hit the bullseye 8 out of 9 times. This man is ridiculous as a finisher. Of course, I think his all-around game for Barcelona, I would say not say it needs improvement, but needs to adapt a bit more. We've seen, Lewandowski drop back a lot into the halfway line trying to collect the ball. You can see it from his heat map as well. Mate, I don't want to sound rude here, but you ain't Messi, right? You ain't going to create anything from the back. I'm just a fan. I would suggest that you stay forward more and then make the space there by attracting the defenders and, leaving them questioning. But I think this man up front is just ridiculous. And without him, we might be, 5th, 4th in La Liga without him. This man is unbelievable. 45 million, looking like an absolute bargain. I think he has 16 goals in all competition this season, which is mad. This is like El Pistolero peak numbers here, but we'll see how he finishes off the season. Look, Lewandowski, RL9, the best striker in the world. Do not chat to me. Ain't no one coming close, except for maybe for Erling Haaland. But Lewandowski, brilliant this season, of course. Alongside Pedri and Ter Stegen, you could say carrying this team on his back at the moment, but let's hope he keeps carrying us but doesn't break his back. So overall, final thoughts on the match against Villarreal at the Spotify Camp Nou. Look, it wasn't glamorous, not champagne football, not Xavi ball, but the objectives were reached. Goals, 3 points, clean sheet. That's all you want, but of course you want to do it on a consistent basis and also make it look good as well. Of course, with that second half being no goals, and also we scored the goals in the span of 9 minutes. Those other 81 minutes, you had a couple of fans yawning, including myself, but it's about getting the job done in my opinion. That is the priority, and the team did get it done after big pressure, of course. After it failed last week, they had to come out here. It was a must win, and we would know other teams drop points. Let's actually take a look now at the league table. Barcelona have a 3-point advantage in 3rd place and are also 3 points behind Real Madrid in 1st place. Atletico Madrid dropped down to 4th place, so Real Sociedad earned their way up to 3rd. Betis dropped to 5th. Athletic Club, our next opponent in the league, are now in 6th place, 18 points. So slowly but surely, we're getting a cushion from 2nd to 3rd, but we want to reduce that cushion, of course, from 1st to 2nd. But we have to hope for other teams to do a job against Real Madrid, which most likely will have to be us at the Spotify Camp Nou come, I think, March time. So we're gonna go neck and neck with Real Madrid. I know that for a fact. The question now is, who's going to sit off first? I also want to keep your eyes on that goal difference as well. Barcelona 20 and Real Madrid 17. So there's only a 3-goal difference. But it used to be around 7, but then they beat us. So I think that goal difference could become important. I think in La Liga it is head-to-head first and then goal difference. So we beat Real Madrid at the Spotify Camp Nou. It goes down to goal difference, of course, but this league is going to be very, very tight. And of course, the teams behind us, the teams battling for the European spots like Sociedad, Atletico, Betis, and Athletic Club, Valencia, Villarreal. Once they get their more games under their belt, they could be challenging us as well for that second spot as well. So we're going to make that cushion there very, very big and make the one, of course, in first place very, very small. By the end of the day, the goals in this match were accomplished. All we have to do now is take the atmosphere, take the momentum, take the energy, and keep it going. We have 2 more games now at the Spotify Camp Nou in a row, Athletic Club and then Bayern Munich. Let's go out there, finish those off with wins, and then look at those last few games before the World Cup. So that was a match analysis for Barcelona versus Villarreal in La Liga. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But of course I want to know your thoughts about Busquets and Pique getting booed, the players' performances individually, the team's performances, Xavi's thoughts after the match, and also those 3 players as well in De Jong, Ansu Fati, and Jordi Alba. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and force the Barca.